All right, question. This is the question. And there's a few in it. So
you get
so
one.
Just shut the fuck up.
Fine.
No, are you worried about online security? So basically, having your identity on the web. They can track everything. You've got a Facebook page. You've got an Instagram profile. If I typed in Paul Neary, you do come up on things. Image search, a couple of your faces here and there. You've done films. I think you're on IMDb. Are you worried about that in the future? And if you are, like, are you going to do anything about it? Like, I've actually got friends in the last year that have like quit Facebook and they've actually deleted their accounts.
Right.
And then, just what's your feelings on that? And there's a few things that spawn off it. Like, obviously Snapchat's super popular. They actually just updated their app 2 weeks ago with a crazy update, which everyone's going to find, like, especially kids are going to find awesome. But it's super, like, security flaw where they have a map and you can view yourself on the map and you can see where someone is at all times. However, there's a ghost mode, but you need to turn it on. And if you don't turn it on, you can literally track someone wherever they are 24/7.
That's what you have on me, isn't it, you prick?
You've got the... Yeah, I've been following you.
I was always wondering how you knew where I was.
Technically, Find My Friends is that. The iPhone comes with that as well, Find My Friends. But that was funny. I've got a mate in England who put it on when the app first came out, and I put it on in Canada. And then I was like, okay, yep, I can see you. You're across the pond. All right. All right, let's turn this shit off. But no, just wondering, like, have you thought about that? Is that a concern for you?
I have thought about it. And then I'm
yeah.
always thinking, if anybody's desperate enough to take my life, have it, because you must be real miserable.
That's a good attitude to have.
But I can definitely understand it for, like, someone who's actually successful. Like, we're wonders of the web. We're incredibly successful. So we're talking about this on a podcast. So clearly we're not the most shy and retiring, But I like my privacy. You like your privacy.
I'm not. Yeah, I was talking to a friend at work today, and he called me a lurker, and it's like on Instagram, I saw that he went on a bike ride on the weekend, so I was like, "Oh, you went on a bike ride on the weekend?" He was like, "You never even commented. You didn't even like the photo." He was just
bring
saying
up topics that you saw them do.
Yeah, I saw him do it, and he was like, "Oh, I would have thought you would have liked that photo if you saw that I did that." And I was like, he was like, "You're just lurking, weren't you?" But I was saying, I made a joke to him. I said, every time I see a photo from him, I'm just gonna comment heavy breathing.
Yeah.
But no, just to poke into that universe a little bit more. So I have a Nest thermostat here, and it knows when I'm away, so it will kind of adjust itself and say, "Oh, he's away, so I'm going to turn off the cooling." "Oh, he's home," like, because it knows when you walk by.
Right.
But Nest also do Nest cameras. They do inside and outdoor cameras. They do baby cams. They do all types. So they've got footage. It records footage and it puts it up to a server. It tells you if you're on holiday, there's been some movement. Oh, just your cat, it died. Or like someone's in your house and you'll be like, "Oh, it's just my bro," or it'd be like, "Shit, I don't even know who that is," or whatever. But there's all this information, man. So you suddenly, in another 10 years, you say Paul Neary, it's like, "Oh, I've got webcam footage of when you were away. Someone was, looking after your house. I could see them. I've got I know that you're always home on Saturdays, but you're away on Sundays because your Nest thermostat says this. I've got your Instagram thing here. Okay, you go to Thunder Bay quite a bit. I'm just announcing it all on the podcast as well.
Yeah.
But
no, I get what you're saying. It's that kind of thing of it's going to be so much easier once you have enough data to predict where everybody will be and take advantage of it.
And here's another thing: is that we're in our 30s, so. How about like your nieces and nephews? Like they're growing up with this, so you put their name into the web, and you'll be able to see them when they're only 10.
Exactly.
So,
yeah, you got
they're really
going to be
thousands
of photos before they're even able to use a phone. Before they're 3 years old, they've got 10,000 photos of the kids.
Yeah. I just I know it's a hot topic, and there's people leaving Facebook, and there's people leaving these things, but for me, like, I don't really post too much on Facebook, but I think in the future I might head away from it. But then when I delete my account, is it really deleted?
Yeah, and then there's also like it was like the Google talk we talked about how it's just ubiquitous and everybody expects you to have it. And now if you don't have Facebook, there's certain websites you can't log on to. There's certain apps you can't use.
Yeah, exactly. And then what about the...
Yeah, they don't let you sign on with your email. They say, oh, sign in through Facebook.
Exactly, and then they got your little profile picture, and then you've got cookies, and then what about ads? So when you go onto a site, and suddenly it's like, hey, you're looking for a barbecue, and then suddenly you're on your phone, you're on Facebook, and then all you're seeing is barbecue stuff, you know. It's scary.
Like, I'm 100% sure that my phone records me talking when it's not on. Because I've been talking to people. And
are you serious?
Oh, yeah, I'd be talking to people, and then I would go on YouTube.
Yeah.
And then there'd be a video recommendation about something I was talking about. Now, I want to be very clear. I did not search for it. Because I'm well aware that my Google searches show up on my Facebook and whatever.
I've seen them as well. It's not right.
But I remember talking to somebody about a game. That's nuts, man. And then the game popped up as a recommendation. I was like, that's very disturbing.
You should get into the settings of that Android.
Yeah, but whatever settings I get into is not the real settings. We all know that.
Probably not. You know, there's like little details of phones as well. So the iPhone, without turning it off, knows. It's like a feature. They've turned it into a feature. Apple. So basically, it knows when you're moving quick or not. So it's called Find My Car. So it will say, oh, you were traveling really fast and you're not. So your car must be parked there. So it will actually tell you where your car's parked. But I've turned it off in my settings, but I turned it on, and it thought the train was the car. So it's like, oh, your car's at Union Station, you know. But that's an interesting stat because it can tell, you know, how fast you're moving and stuff. But
and then you're looking at what we were also talking about, which is self-driving cars, and all that information, all that data has to go somewhere.
Yeah, exactly.
So in terms of hiding, you know, like people will find their partner's phone and see if they were cheating, like check their locations and all that.
Sure.
Well, now you just go out and download the car's last coordinates.
Yeah.
And you'd be like, that's what people do. They go through like the Garmin or whatever.
Yeah, that's right, actually.
And they find destinations, be like, oh, where the hell were you last night? Oh, I was at this hotel, huh? Oh, fuck you.
It's good for the FBI and all that lot.
Well, that's the big thing. The FBI would, not the FBI, the NSA and PRISM.
Right.
Where they are, you know, the Snowden gave away the details. They're taking every piece of information and they're still worrying.
That's right, yeah. Yeah, it's just nuts to think about. What was the other one? I had another one I was going to mention where they're tracking you.
That's usually what it comes down to, is that the argument flips on. They're tracking people to keep everybody safe. So if you've nothing to hide, you've nothing to worry about.
Yeah.
But then the flip side of that is you don't get to decide what should or should not be hidden.
Yeah.
So this idea that the government should have access to everything, and then from that they'll say, oh, you shouldn't be talking about this or you shouldn't be talking about that. Even if we could all agree it's something you shouldn't be talking about, like an attack is going to happen somewhere, it's still not the world it's not a world that we should be promoting where we're forcing everybody to be good. Or maybe it is. Maybe that is the best way to do it. The big brother system of, oh, well, you know, if you've nothing to hide, you've nothing to worry about.
Yeah, true. That's very true. I mean, wasn't there that thing recently with the FBI and Apple, and the guy had an iPhone, but they couldn't legally go into it or something? Oh, the FBI needed to track someone.
Yeah.
But Apple wouldn't, give up the location or
the backdoor into the phone. Yeah, because they could only.
That's right. Yeah.
It was he had the code, and then if you put in the code too many times, all the data gets burned.
But technically, that's, you know, Apple's policy is that, you're secure. You know, we're not going to leak anything. So it was a tough dilemma for them because obviously they want to help out. But at the same time, if they breach that, then everyone's like, well, you guys aren't safe at all. You know, you can do that to anyone.
Yeah.
So, but it's just scary to think about. I've also got a friend who backs up a lot of his work, and he puts it behind 3 security walls and he encrypts his hard drives. Well, it's Dre. If you're listening, Dre, it's you. All right. But yeah, he encrypts his hard drives. And,
well, now you just screwed it up. He had this whole security system.
I know. I've leaked it online. No, but it's just like when he was telling me about it, I was just like, shit, yeah, I've got mine on a hard drive. But maybe we should do something with that. And I know he puts us into the cloud, secure cloud and stuff. But is that a concern for you? Like, what about your work or your movies?
Oh yeah, that's a big concern for me. Like that, so. I know it. Like, I don't have it, but I'm trying to make sure that I have a backup for the backup. But ideally, I would like 3.
Right.
Even for the cloud, it's like I've got hundreds of photos in the cloud, and I'm like, crap, if I lose the password or whatever,
yeah,
I lose years of my life.
Well, that's what I was thinking as well. It's like I was sitting at work once, and I was like, if there was a fire at work, and say like I've got like photos from Australia and stuff. I went to Australia and New Zealand.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Both. But, okay. Yeah.
But I backed them up on my laptop. This is a while ago, like a year ago or whatever. But if there was a fire at work, I would rush out. But like honestly, I would probably grab my laptop because I don't want to lose those memories. Even they're not in the cloud or whatever.
Yeah.
So, but that is actually a thought that crosses my mind. Like it's crazy to think that like the whole building's on fire, your life's in danger, but I want to grab my laptop.
And then there's the issue of privacy and, like you said, maintaining memories. So in the future, if somebody dies, all their accounts, all their Facebook things, like, is there a process now to get into that if you're a loved one?
Yeah, that's a really good question actually.
Like I said, all my photos on my cloud, I pop my clogs tomorrow, and then you come along and you're like, oh, Neri probably had a bunch of photos in there. It'd be nice for his family to see them or have them.
Yeah.
And then, like, how does somebody get the rights to get into your? Because it's not me. There's all the security systems are like, oh, it'll send a code to your phone and it'll check your Facebook message and check your email account. It was like,
yeah.
No one can do that because it's all mine.
Well, I know your one anyway. Your one's for family.
Hashtag respect.
Hashtag respect. No, you know what? That's actually a really interesting question because how would they get into that? Like, would they have to contact Apple, and would they have? Could you breach that because the person has passed? So I guess so, but yeah, because you'd have.
Yeah, do you have to turn up with a birth certificate? Or not a death certificate? Birth certificate. There you go. Yes, he was just born yesterday.
He was just born. I'm not joking. You probably would have to do that. You probably would have to prove, that they passed and that you need to get in.
Yeah, you'd need. I think there's there's the government thing as well. Like you need a proof of death and you need a signature from a authority. That's for something else.
Right.
But yeah, you need to have the death certificate from the coroner, and then I think it's a police officer or a paramedic or whoever signs off that this person died or whatever.
Yeah.
So I guess Apple and Microsoft will all be like, yeah, we need that too. It's like, yeah, but
we need it all.
You're a phone company. What the hell? Just give me the goddamn photos.
Do it now. Would you? So, going back to the original question, do you see yourself ever kind of leaving Facebook and things?
Well, I'm not super careful about what I put up, but I'm very limited in what I put up.
You are actually, yeah.
Like I don't have for someone who talks as much as I do, I don't have that much of an ego about what I'm doing in my day-to-day life.
You say that.
I say that, but if you check my blog posts and my Facebook and my Twitter. But you know what I mean? Like I don't post a lot of crap, so
sure.
There's whatever's up there, I'm perfectly happy for everyone to see.
I think that's the thing, yeah. Whatever you put up there, you're proud of, or you're fine with it being out there.
But I do think there is something in the back of my head that's also like, I don't want a lot of people to see this, and whether or not that's just me being introverted or a little bit private about those things, or kind of reticent and being like, "Oh, this could come back and bite me in the ass."
Yeah, I know. You've got things like I don't know. I don't know how it would go down, but say like if you were applying for a job somewhere, but then they saw photos of you on Facebook.
Oh, sure, yeah, that's like the horror stories you always hear, isn't it?
Yeah,
they
like
go check
Facebook.
They check your Facebook file.
Naked on top of a bar or something like that.
Yeah, and like
that was what I was going. That was what I was going to mention earlier on was the fact that you got like Tinder as well. The fact that you can look people up, so it's like for jobs and stuff. So it's like, oh, who's this person? It's like, oh, they're coming in for an interview. I'm just going to do a little Google search or a little Facebook search.
Yeah, I read an article that said that's what the majority of employers will do.
Before they walk in the room, they know that you like Game of Thrones, that you're 32, and that you used to have a beard, but now you're this and that, and it's like, holy shit, it's crazy.
Especially not for like jobs at McDonald's, but definitely higher end jobs. Like I would say, where you work, and certainly in your industry. Yeah, you guys don't even think about it, but everyone has checked everybody's Facebook, Instagram, all that.
Well, you just mentioned McDonald's. Do you remember a couple of episodes back I was talking about how you interview for McDonald's? Like
they've got that app thing.
They were accepting Snapchat. I think it was Snapchat.
Snapplications, yeah.
Snapplications. That was it. Yeah, which is super smart because they're getting with the times, but yeah, it's just crazy to think that could be your interview. It's just like a little snap.
I definitely think we would have started off at a position of comfort in what we do and don't share. But I think definitely people that are 10 years and younger, like 10 years younger and below, are going to have a lot of issues with their privacy online.
I think so, for sure. Like I was just walking home and I saw a guy and he was having a beer on the street, which you're not really allowed to do in Toronto. And then he had his phone out while he was doing it, and he was spinning around. I think the CN Towers in the background. And then I was like, he's probably done something like that maybe like 10 times today, just alone. He was a younger guy. I'm just like, that's 10 a day, and then throughout the whole year, and then count that over 10 years, and it's just like, holy shit, like he's all over the web,
Yeah. Well, the average is 25 selfies a day over the course of your lifetime. That's what they estimate.
What's that, sorry? 25 a day?
25 a day. Average. Now, that doesn't mean every day you're taking 25. Like, obviously, 6 days of the week you don't do anything, and then 1 day of the week you're out at the McGregor fight. You're going to take 800 selfies of yourself. You're going to be like, this is me in queue. This is me getting into the arena. Look at in the background. There's Floyd Mayweather coming down. All that kind of stuff.
Yeah, totally.
The average kid between 12 and 18 and everyone else born below that is going to take 25 photos of themselves a day.
Oh, wow.
And it's like you said, it's not to get 25 photos, it's to get one photo to put up.
Of course, yeah.
You're like, click, click, click. No, move my head. Click, click, click. There we go. That's the one. I'll put that up.
Yeah.
But that's 6 photos of yourself you just took.
I know. Yeah.
Just so you could put up that one that looks right. Which
on
is
the cloud.
And I know a lot of the generations will be thinking, oh, that's fine. I just wanted to put up the good photos. Like, but do you not see that's the inherent problem? Is that you're willing to take 6 photos of yourself so that you can put one photo up for the sake of other people.
Yeah.
You did not take 6 photos of yourself because you were enjoying yourself. It's because you wanted to see everybody else react to you enjoying yourself.
Of course, it goes back to our other conversation of people want to hear vibrations, they want to or feel vibrations because they want to, they want people to be commenting, and then that's a whole other conversation of which we talked about, which is you get depression over social media because people aren't viewing your posts, or you take a picture of your dinner, you're like, oh, I'm out at the keg or whatever and I'm having a steak, take a picture, and then you get just 3 likes, and then you're like, oh, I thought I was going to get more, and it's absolutely nuts.
Yeah, it's a weird mutant world we have where people want more attention, but then you have that conversation of like, oh, you're giving up too much of your privacy.
Yeah.
So where do you go with that?
What's super funny and ironic is that I'm talking about this subject, and our podcasts are going to be online for when we're 60 and 70, we're gonna.
When you're 60 and I'm dead. And you're still trying to get into my Facebook account. Yeah.
respect for family.
For respect. Famespect. Amely. God damn it, Neri.
You don't even like fish. That would be the one. But yeah, all of that. Those are all inside jokes, everyone.
No, everyone should know. It's just my password is don't turn this password into a murder.
Yeah, it's just funny that it's always going to live online, and I wonder when, in say 40 years, I wonder if YouTube's going to be YouTube or whether it's going to be something completely different. So
yeah, robot tube.
Yeah, robot tube, cybernet tube. But
you Terminator.
We could talk for hours and hours about it, but I just thought it was a good conversation just to see, where everything's going with it. We're not particularly like super vocal or like on social media, like personally with ourselves, with our profiles, but obviously we know a lot of people that are, and obviously kids are, but it could be a big issue. It could also have a lot of benefits as well for tracking people down.
Yeah.
But,
my piece of advice would be 1 day a week, turn off your phone for at least 12 hours.
I think
not the whole day. I'm not even asking for the whole day. Just 12 hours. Just pick like a Saturday or Sunday.
That's like asking someone. I'm not joking, dude. That's like asking someone to try and stop smoking for that amount of time. Or our phones are drugs. They are a drug, and it's a proper addiction.
That's what I'm trying to tell people. So you got if you can't do that, if you can't take 12 hours without your phone,
yeah,
then you should really be thinking about how do you have a problem.
Yeah, there's been a few times where I've gone to work and I left my phone at home, and I've been a little bit in a panic mode, been like, oh fuck,
Yeah.
But then the funny thing is, then I got to work and I just went onto like Facebook Messenger to message people and say like, oh, I haven't got my phone or whatever. But yeah, you're completely right. If you can't be without your phone for more than 12 hours, then or less, or you've got a serious problem.
Like, if you're listening to this podcast, just pick a day. Like, this is going to come out today or whatever. Sometime on the weekend, say Sunday. Sunday's a quiet day. No one's out partying. Turn your phone off for 12 hours. 9 a.m. to 9 p.m.
Give it a go.
And if that scares you just thinking about that, maybe start thinking about turning off your phone more often.
Yeah, exactly. I thought you were going to say turning yourself in.
Yeah, turn yourself in. Because they're after you. They know what you're onto. Because your phone's on all the time, tracking you, following you, listening to your conversations. That's a good question. I'm looking at, as I'm talking about the question, I'm literally looking at an Oculus camera in my room, and I've got 3 of them. So it's like, just in case you thought you were safe in the corner, there is a camera looking at you. Yeah, it's bad enough they're scanning my face. They're giving a 360 3D view of you.
Yeah.
They're going to 3D print you soon.
Yeah. So, please chime in if you've got any thoughts on that topic. But and if you don't, then thanks for listening.
Yeah, we still know what you're thinking. We're in your passwords.
Yeah. If you don't, we'll find you, and we will. We will kill you. What was the Liam Neeson thing again?
I will find you, and I will kill you.
That's pretty good, man. Fuck, I thought I was watching a film for a second there. Hey guys, thanks for listening. If you like what you heard, click the subscribe button.
Yeah, and as always, you can check out the full episode on iTunes, or here it's going to be posted usually every weekend. Thanks for listening.
Oh yeah.